Hello and welcome back to the Combat Chatters podcast. Today I'm joined with Solly again, like last week. Obviously, we spoke about the massive card, and we're going to break it down and go over a few of the fights last week. How did you enjoy the card watching it live?
Oh, mate, brilliant.
Yeah,
Same as always, really. Night with the lads, a
yeah.
couple beers.
God, yeah, long night. I think I
Yeah.
finished closer to 7 o'clock in the morning this
Yeah, I
weekend.
know, it's horrible walking home and the sun's
Yeah.
up, but at the same time, you're walking home and thinking, yes.
That Sean O'Malley knockout, man. We'll get stuck into that later, I'm sure, but man, yeah, that card, it had the feeling of it was one of the big cards, you know.
You had a tough finalist on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, let's actually.
You can actually, go into
We will
this.
go into. Obviously, there was two tough fights. I think one ended in submission. I
Yeah,
think
that was Hollowberger versus...
Holloway,
Holloway
again.
Holloway, that's it,
yeah. I can't remember the other guy's name. But
Katona
yeah,
Gibson.
Katona Gibson. Obviously, they had a bit of beef going into the house. Well, not going in, but sorry, they had a bit of beef in the house. And what a fight! I mean,
Mate,
you could tell
dude.
there was dislike there. Brad Katona becoming the second Ultimate Fighter. He's won it twice now, which no one
Double
else has
champ.
done. Yeah.
Double champ.
Conor McGregor put out a tweet saying that's what we do in SBG Ireland. It's just full of double champs. So yeah, he was happy with that one too. Obviously,
Should have been there.
yeah. I don't.
No.
He should have been there.
Yeah.
But obviously his fights did terrible in the house. But Brad Katona winning it for Team McGregor. What did you think of the fight, man?
Oh, mate, it was mad. Katona's with so much heart, mate.
Yeah.
Stuck in there, just scrapping. Of course, Gibson did all right.
He started strong.
Yeah, he did.
First
But
round.
Katona was just, I mean, they were trading. It was just
Yeah.
a scrap.
Mm.
Straight from the off to the finish. It was
Yeah.
it was a scrap.
Yeah, I mean, Gibson's eye as well. I think he must have broke his dorsal bone because that's some of the worst eye swelling I've seen. That's not obviously we've seen a few like the Donald Cerrone fight where against Tony Ferguson he blew his nose and his eye almost blew out his head. But this one was just you could tell the damage done to the eye. Katona was there the whole time. He's just for me he's just a perfect, well-rounded MMA fighter. Obviously, he had a very close fight against I think it was Valiev in the semi-final. But man, he left no doubts for this one. Clear win, looked great.
Do you reckon they'll offer Gibson a?
I think I saw.
If they, because
I think I
it makes
saw-
sense.
I think I saw that he's got a contract.
Yeah, admit that'd be it makes sense. I'd like to see him fight again. Actually,
Yeah, I saw him sign a contract, but his face wasn't all beat up, and obviously he took a block
so it might
out,
be a bit-
maybe he signed it. Maybe he already signed his contract before then.
Fair play.
I think maybe, or maybe I just saw a wrong video and I'm getting
Yeah.
mixed up. But I'm pretty sure he signed him. But Brad Katona, he's got a lot of big fights to chase in the UFC.
yeah, definitely.
Obviously, the rematch with Dashvili, he's going to be aiming for all those top guys, but he's got a long way to go until he gets to that sort of stage in his career. But what performance, what a fight, and those sort of fights where you're still early in the night just get you so much more excited for.
Yeah.
And a main card like we had this weekend.
Mate, dude, how wrong were we?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, we were, because if you were right, I was wrong. If I was right, you were wrong.
yeah, I mean, we were literally like,
What we wanted to happen happened, pretty much.
yeah, Sean O'Malley won. Another fight I just want to touch on a little bit. Obviously, Kurt Holloway against Austin Hubbard. It was.
Yeah, that's it.
And then second round submission. Holloway's he's an animal, man. He's so
Yeah.
tough. I didn't expect him to win the show. Austin Hubbard's very good at fighting from range. Obviously, I think he beat Roosevelt Roberts in the semi-final. So, yeah, big congrats to Kurt Holloway as well. Massive
Yeah,
win.
was it a triangle?
Let's see if it says. It doesn't say. I can't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Because he hurt Hubbard on the feet.
Yeah,
And then it
was
went
near
to the
cage,
ground.
wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was a triangle. Yeah,
And then
pretty sure.
Gregory Rodriguez back to winning ways, dominant
Oh,
performance.
mate.
Finally showing his grappling as well, which
Yeah.
we're glad to see. Big ground and pound knockout. But
Disgusting.
one fight I want to kind of go into a little bit. Obviously, Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it last week? I don't think we did because it
We
wasn't on the
should've.
main card. Yeah, I don't know why we
Oh,
didn't talk about it
The
last week.
disrespect.
Yeah, I mean he called out the UFC for disrespecting him, but so did we. But yeah, so Chris Weidman, he tried very hard during the fight.
I think.
It's done, do you reckon?
I mean, he was talking about coming back and achieving things again.
Yeah,
But
like fighting for a belt.
if you want to be doing that, you have to be beating people. I'm not saying Tavares is bad.
Yeah,
He's a dog.
but you got to beat him.
You've got to be beating him, and if
Yeah.
you can't get through that, then Nah, I think is he just going to be wanting to just fight?
Yeah, that's the whole
The person
point.
he is he going to want to be fighting people of Tavares' caliber? I
Yeah.
mean, because if he is at that caliber now,
He can.
that's the only
There's
people
more
he can
fights to
fight.
go. Yeah, obviously he could stick around and have many more fights.
Easy, but it's just
But for him, he was coming back to probably achieve the biggest comeback in sports history. If he managed to come back and win the belt again before he broke his leg, everyone said
I
he was
think that
done.
leg still affected him. Did you see the
Yeah,
way he was
I
moving
think
on
I
it?
heard that he's done his MCL, the knee, so
Oh,
it's
no.
another year injury as well.
It's just I think he just should enjoy retirement.
Yeah,
He's been at the top.
But Brad Tavares, great performance.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Stuck to a game plan. Chris Weidman did not stop trying to knock him out the whole time,
Mate.
backing him up,
Yeah.
throwing.
Oh,
He couldn't
no.
even stand up at some points. He was throwing hooks and falling down afterwards. Um, but yeah, obviously, don't really know where Chris Weidman goes here. If he is out for another year, I don't think we'll see him fight again. So that will be a shame if that's his last fight. But to go out there at almost 40, I think he's almost 40, 39, something like that.
Yeah, fight.
After a bad leg break and go the distance with Tavares after taking that much damage.
Nothing but
Yeah,
respect.
you got to give him credit. But what we want to get stuck onto the juicy main card. Obviously, we didn't talk about the Demon Blackshear fight last week. He won by Twister, stepped in on short notice. So it was on the main card. That was a decent fight, but we won't dig too far into that one. So we'll start off. In my opinion, one of the fights of the night, Marlon Vera against Pedro Muniz.
Yeah.
Cheeto looked like he might start slow, but he picked it up. What was your
I
thoughts?
think we broke that down quite well actually. We said if he comes out slow, then it's going to probably
I don't think he came
No,
out
he
as
didn't.
slow
He
as they
didn't.
made
No,
out.
no.
The commentary
Definitely not, mate. I mean, Munoz was there in his face from the off. I think it was. Oh, it was brilliant. I think towards the end, Vera started coming in with shots like landing well.
Yeah.
And I think it was a decent fight from him. He played it out well. Munoz was just there.
His Pedro, Cheeto Vera's jab was on fire.
Oh, mate, he's just perfect.
I think he wobbled him. He jabbed him straight up 3 times in a row and wobbled him in, I think it's the 3rd round. But man, he really turned it on. Obviously, we know how much he grows throughout fights, and Pedro Munoz is a fighter who's never going to go away. Both of these, both of them never been finished in their MMA careers. We spoke about that a lot last week. Both of them look like they'll never get a finish in their MMA careers because they were eating big shots. Both landed big shots. I think Cheeto started landing the head kicks a bit later on. In the
right at the end.
well,
Right at the end.
It's like a front kick.
Cheeto dodged. Did he dodge a head kick right at the end?
I can't remember.
Do you not remember? I think he swings out from a head kick, and
Probably.
then
But
he was so close, and then he looks at Munoz like a badass man. He's like,
sick. Yeah. I do know what you're talking about.
For him, badass moment.
But I think that probably the fight of the card, in my opinion, just for the back and forth of it. Yeah. Obviously the tough finalists, the tough finalists, but fight of the main card definitely. In my opinion, they put on a war. Obviously Cheeto looks like he'll be getting the next title shot against Sean O'Malley. They'll be finally running that back.
Nice. Oh, that's going to be a brilliant build-up, especially when that happened in the last fight.
Yeah. Obviously, without giving a prediction, how excited are you for that fight? I think that fight is fireworks.
I mean, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, the styles just match up perfectly.
Yeah, I think O'Malley's going to have to train hard for that one.
Yeah, because I don't think he can finish Cheeto. So, I mean, I think O'Malley would take the first few rounds, but once Cheeto gets into those 4th and 5th rounds, I would not be surprised if he beats O'Malley.
No, mate. We said it about this one, but we'll get onto it.
Yeah. So great performance from both.
Definitely.
Shame from Pedro Munoz. I don't really know who he could fight from here. Obviously, the obvious one is Umar Nurmagomedov, which, let's be real, no one's gagging a bit to fight. Corey Sanhagen got injured, and I feel like he just falls perfectly in place for that one now. But Pedro, it'll be a good step up for Umar. Obviously, Umar, I think he knocked out Ronnie Barcelos in his last fight.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Was that the
That was when he caught the leg, and he just caught with a straight right. And I remember he caught his head as he fell down. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But again, that's another banger fight. That's what we're going to probably get from this card. But getting into the next fight, obviously, Demon Blackshear, Mario Bautista. the fight was good, back and forth. I don't feel like there's a lot to say. Damon Blackshear looked like he made it a very close fight, but he had a week to train. That you could see he had no
Yeah, you
game
could.
plan for that
Yeah, it
style.
was.
But obviously he's going to come back. And Marad Bautista, I think he's on like a 7-fight win streak now,
Nice.
so obviously he'll get a big fight next. But we'll go on a bit more on this one because obviously it was a bit of beef in the card. Neil Magny obviously saying that thing, and we'll talk about it a little bit anyway because there's no point in hiding from it. Neil Magny says something about disciplining his kid. I'm not gonna say the wrong words. I think he said that he's become accustomed to giving the sort of discipline to his kids, sort of saying that. You slap your kids around a bit.
Yeah.
And Ian Gary's reaction to. Did you see the video of him and his wife? There's a video of Ian Gary and his wife reacting. They're like so theatrical about it. They're like jumping off the sofa, like, oh my god, oh my god. Obviously, I'm not sat here saying I agree with putting your hands on your kids.
Bro, my mum used to slap.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I'm glad. Let's use the word discipline. I'm glad my parents disciplined me as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, if Ian Gary isn't going to do that, then his kid's going to be a bitch.
Ian Gary, you can. I don't want to.
Slaps his kid.
No, Ian Gary doesn't. But Ian Gary's the type of kid who was just wrapped in bubble wrap, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah, he just probably wasn't allowed to go to the shops until he was like 12 years old and stuff like that. That's what I actually think. Because I love Ian Gary, I'm not saying
Oh, mate, yeah, it was brilliant.
But, God, man, you just sat there trying to get another man cancelled that much. I don't respect that.
He's just trying to cause beef for a fight.
But even now, like, after the fight, he's coming out calling him a scumbag and...
It's not John Jones, is he? I mean, calm down.
Yeah, it's not like he's... Yeah, oh, God...
Yeah. I hate it when fighters do stuff like this.
Come on, man. You're fighters. You're getting in there to kick the shit out of each other. And you're trying to cause little petty things like that. Trying to make another man look bad. And there's all sorts of people just talking on Twitter. He never really said that. He smacks up his kids, did he? He never said he beats them black and blue. Yeah. He said he disciplines them.
Gary's just trying to make him look like the enemy in the fight. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Ian Gary's not doing himself any favours with the fan. He's very Marmite, isn't he? You love him or you hate him. But anyway, enough of that. Let's actually talk about the fight because another great performance from Ian Gary. In my personal opinion, he should have got the finish. But what did you think of his overall performance?
I thought it was good. He had Magny backed up for a lot, and he was just
the whole time
slamming those leg kicks, mate.
Brutal.
Oh my gosh! I mean, Magny. Fair play. Yeah. That dude.
So tough.
Just got back up every time you thought, oh, right, this is it. This is it. Ref's going to stop with leg kicks. He just get back on his feet, mate. It was.
One thing you were saying a lot during we were watching it is you're surprised that there's no ability to even switch stances with a fight like that. Like
I mentioned that. I think you're getting that leg battered. You're getting that leg battered. You need to switch stances. He did. I mean, fair play. He's still.
Yeah, but I think I was making an argument for Neil Magny in the case, but now I've actually looked at the fight back. You can just see
he does switch now and then.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was just thinking at the top level. Obviously, we train when we're switching stances. We're not fighting guys that are really good that will just make you pay for every little thing you do differently in that stance. Yeah. Where obviously Neil Magny fighting such an elite striker like Ian Gary,
he's just going to expose the bad side.
But the bad side is still better than the good side at that point, surely. That's what my conclusion.
Magny ain't thinking that. Magny's not. He's prepared to get that leg chopped up. That's saying something. He really doesn't want to be fighting.
Like there was zero chance he could win from
either side.
Yeah, from either. Yeah, that's true. To be fair, there's no chance he was winning.
He's done by that point. But I mean, I think he should have got the finish. Really, he was.
Playing with his food a bit, wasn't
he? Yeah, I mean, I said that. He's toying with him a little bit.
Yeah.
And some of you boys were like, nah, he can't be.
Which I don't actually like at this level. Like, you're fighting another... Get them done. You don't get paid for overtime in MMA. Knock him out as quick as you can. Get that. Because he was talking how he's going to be the star of the card. He said he's going to take
He won. It was just another fight.
And he won. And, when you get that knockout, the viral moment, the crowd behind you, the way that you can jump on the cage afterwards, it gives you that viral moment. And everyone at the end was kind of like, oh, alright then. Like we saw what was going to happen through the first round. So yeah, it would have been good to see him step on the gas a bit more. Neil Magny's so awkward to punch in the face.
Yeah.
Like, how hard was it for Ian Gary to even find the headshots? It was
Yeah.
crazy. He was just kind of dipping out the way,
Dipping,
wasn't
moving.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, it was fair play to Magny. He's a tough guy.
Mm.
Tough guy. Again, thought he might have caused a few more problems for Ian Gary, but he didn't.
I can't remember even what I predicted with that one. Did we say finish? I think I said
I
decision.
did. We said
actually.
decision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we both did. No, look, we know how tough Magny is.
Yeah, and he proved it, but it's just it wasn't on the level of
No,
Gary. Gary's
no.
obviously that next step up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gary's going to be sort of pushing it for a top 5 fight.
Yeah, who's next for him?
Well, he called out Stephen Thompson,
He
didn't
did,
he?
yeah.
But Stephen Thompson also, apparently Stephen Thompson said no, he wants the Usman fight, but I don't know if that's true, because Dana said that the night of the card. So what, did Dana go backstage and call him and ask him straight away, and then he said no, because obviously I think the UFC and Wonderboy are in a bit of a weird situation at the moment with Michelle Pereira pulling out of the Wonderboy fight a few weeks back, and Wonderboy not accepting the fight because Pereira missed weight, sorry. Obviously, he said no to that fight. He didn't want to fight the heavier man. He turned down a short notice fight, which apparently could have been Ian Gary. So maybe I think Dana might mean he already said no to Ian Gary because maybe he turned down the short notice fight a few weeks ago.
Yeah, of course.
But I think that's the fight you have to make. No one wants.
Well, how do you see that playing out? I mean, that's
Yeah, that's like the sort of.
That's a stylistic matchup right there.
Because in my head, it's kind of going to look like the Darren Till Wonderboy fight when they fought in, I think it was Liverpool or Manchester. I think it will kind of play out like that one. Yeah, Wonderboy actually does have a natural, like, one of his weakest points of his striking is his leg kicks because the way he likes to move so much. And Ian Gary, we see his leg kicks. So obviously, I'm not going to give a prediction. I think that one could go either way, but the leg kicks would be a big problem, like it was in the Till fight. I think it'd be kind of like a chess match similar to that
We've just seen what he's done to Magny's legs, Gary, as well. So
Wonderboy though is not Neil Magny.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
you
yeah,
know what
no,
I mean. It is a gauger. You know, if you hit a man in conditioning, Wonderboy's conditioning is very good.
Yeah, and Wonderboy's been doing this for years. Every time we think there's a big new up and coming striker, he just seems to school them.
I think that's his best next move though for Gary.
Yeah, and that's a big fight for both of them. Obviously, if Wonderboy wins, he's probably one fight away from a title shot.
And if Gary wins,
I mean that just
elevates him.
Yeah, that prepared. He says he wants 4 more before he fights for a belt.
I rate that.
Yeah, it's taking it slow.
That's clever.
Yeah, very clever. Anyway, we're gonna get into the women's co-main, the strawweight fight. Obviously, the danger was always there for Amanda Lemos, but as soon as that fight started, Whaley was in her face, trying to prove a point. She just looks on the next level at the moment.
When she was dropping bombs on her,
Yeah, ground pound.
hitting her hard. I was just sat there waiting for that straight right, mate. I was just sat there. I was there going, here it is, boys. It's coming. It's coming. Here's a straight. And then Whaley, it's a
takedown as well. The takedowns was so.
Was it an overhand?
Yeah. Oh god, that was brutal. That one, wasn't it? I think that was in the later rounds. Dropped her.
Lemos still carried on.
Lemos is so tough, but I don't like it when you have a title fight that's that one-sided. In my opinion, it doesn't look great on the company when a title fight is that.
It was domination.
Yeah,
it was complete domination. You could see what happened as well.
I'll get the striking stats off a minute because it's mental.
It was so clever from Whaley though, because oh man, it was disgusting. But one thing we spoke about is if Whaley rushes in like she likes to with the hooks, you know, she comes in and charges in. She didn't do that.
No, not at all.
And I think it's because one of the talking points last week when we were talking about this fight was the fact of Lemos' patience and countering, and Whaley has proved
she's smart.
Proved that mentality right there, and she fought this fight so well, mate. She proved she's a champion that night.
And in my opinion, she looks like she could go. Obviously, she has those 2 losses to Rose Namajunas, but that's a different version of Whaley, and she looks like she could go on and be probably the best strawweight of all time if she carries on fighting like that. I would not be surprised if we see Rose move back down and fight her again if she wins a few more fights, or if Rose wins maybe I don't think she'll win the belt flyweight. There's some killers. I think, is it flyweight? I think it's flyweight. There's some killers in that division now. Like, obviously, we're going to talk a bit about Blanchfield, Tunis
Yeah, of
Santos.
course.
Oh God, I can't. My mind's gone blank. But obviously Alexa Grasso, Shevchenko.
Yeah, of course.
Like, this weight class is no joke anymore, and Rose is going to struggle. But we're not going to talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Whaley, great performance. Amanda Lemos, it was at her age, it's probably the last shot she'll get. But then again, the women's weight classes are a bit more shallow, I'd say. I think that's fair enough to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else to add on that fight? I think
No, it was just
literally
ultimate
pure
domination.
domination. Yeah,
You know, I'm annoyed because,
just a prediction wrong, innit?
you know, but I know why. It's because, you know, Whaley just.
Well, Whaley is just showing to have reached a new level, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for her next fight. I think they're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised. I think she'll fight.
I think she's a sick champ as well.
Yeah.
What's up, Boston?
Yeah, she got a good personality
Yeah,
about her,
definitely.
hasn't she?
I think she was learning English or something.
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
say
she
stuff
was,
like that. Yeah, I rate it.
Yeah. Obviously, massive fight next. Before we even get into the fight, I just want to kind of like, for the people who aren't massively into MMA, just what sort of moment this is for the UFC. To have a guy who come from Contender Series when he was 23 years old, and let's be real, fought one guy who's got one win over a guy in the top 10. The other top 10 fighters were the Cheeto fight, which he lost, and the Pedro Munoz fight ended in a no contest.
Yeah.
And yeah, Peter Yan was. But what I was about to say, Peter Yan, he had one win over someone in the top 10, and it was a, let's be real, dodgy decision, which most people think Sean O'Malley lost. The fight was very close. And for him to go and KO one of the best bantamweights ever, and just people have been waiting for a moment. Like Sean, it really does seem like he will be the next massive star in the UFC. Like I think he'll be doing more numbers than Israel Adesanya. I think he'll be the number one now.
He's got reach.
Yeah.
He's on podcasts.
Yeah.
He makes appearances.
His fighting style as well.
The guy's got funky hair. Funny dude.
Loves weed.
Loves weed.
Yeah.
You know, he's got all the makings of just loads of people.
I think he is dry as hell on the mic though.
Oh,
but I don't think he's the most entertaining.
No, but he's got the wacky hair.
Yeah, people love it.
And the funny videos he makes and stuff like that.
The training videos, class, yeah. But just another thing, I think this was the first time they showed the knockout, the actual clip of the knockout on the UFC website, the UFC's Instagram, ESPN, they posted a knockout, SportsCenter, they posted a knockout. Every massive page posted the actual clip of the knockout, which I think it was the first ever time ESPN had posted a knockout. And it just shows that I think someone in the sort of higher ups was just saying to everyone, this is going to get so many views. I'd love to see the pay-per-view numbers that will come out. We'll speak about how many pay-per-views it did next week because I don't think it will be out yet. But just so exciting, and he obviously has the rematch with Cheeto, and he has some fights that favour him coming up, in my opinion. Like I think he can beat the people like Sandhagen and Cheeto, but obviously there's like Dashvili but
they're going to keep him away from
Arab,
exactly.
Mate.
They're keeping him away from Arab 100%.
Yeah. But it was just a massive moment, and you could feel the tension in the room when we were all sat there before the fight even started.
We speak a lot through the UFC nights. We have a chat, we have a giggle, we have a joke, but that fight we were just talk shit. But we were all just
dialed in,
sat there.
Ugh. The nerves were just. There was one of those fights, wasn't it?
Mate, it's just because you, in your head, you think you know what's going to happen, and we'll speak about it in a minute. But what happened was what we wanted to happen, but we didn't think it was, and it just.
And another thing is like, I feel like we'll get into the actual breakdowns of the rounds, but after that, we got like near the end of that first round, and I remember saying that I was like, it's not fun, but Sean is fighting the perfect fight right now. I remember saying that to everyone, and I just had a feeling in my stomach that something was about to happen.
Yeah, mate,
like,
it was.
Like, there was just that feeling, wasn't there?
It was like. I remember what we were speaking about on the pod, and in my head I was like, mate, if this can happen.
Yeah.
I was like, because of course, what he predicted didn't happen. But what we wanted to happen happened. And it was like.
Yeah.
So perfect, mate.
Sometimes you get those moments, like, for me.
I think there was something in the room when they were going into round 2, we were all just sat there and just looking at people's faces. Everyone's thinking like, is he
going to beat him?
gonna do this?
And it was a picturesque punch. It was almost exactly the same as the Conor Aldo fight. And do you remember just before the knockout I said I have a feeling it will be like the Conor Aldo sequence?
Yeah.
The comparisons online now. Obviously, the whole night I was saying, I'm not sitting here saying I got the prediction right or anything, because there was 2 people in the room. My brother said second round O'Malley knockout, and so did our mate. So fair play to them.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone actually thought O'Malley was going to win that fight. I don't think they believed that.
I mean, I was hanging on. I was a bit drunk, but I was going, "Oh, boys, I said this on the pod. I didn't."
That's what it's like.
I didn't predict it, but I said within the first 3 rounds, O'Malley, and it happened.
But I feel like that's like the sort of same thing we all do. Is we throw every scenario of the fight out there, so we say we got it right once it's happened, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But let's actually talk about the fight now.
Yeah.
The first round, obviously very slow. I think Aljamain took the round, but Sean's patience, you could see he was just setting something up.
It was, of course they were there. I mean, wasn't much exchanging, just going back and forth, feeling each other out.
Shin leg kicks.
Yeah.
Not very smart, is it? Nasty to watch.
Alj got the leg near the end of the round.
Yeah.
And that's when you think, in your head you are thinking, right, if you can get him down, I don't know why he didn't force trying to...
I think, let's talk about that. I love Aljamain Sterling, but come on, man, use your brain. Surely there was an injury or something. Why didn't he shoot takedowns?
He got the leg.
Yeah.
He got the leg. And this is what I was saying. If he got O'Malley down in that first round, you're seeing a completely different fight.
He should have shot in the first 30 seconds like he did with Corey Sandhagen.
You don't think Aljo in his head, like, I was going to knee me?
No.
No, because he can't think like that.
No, he's thinking he could...
But why isn't he taking him down then? Because that's the only way... It's stupid. Look what happened. He stood with O'Malley and he got punished. He got punished.
I saw some YouTuber saying, for bettors, for people who bet, that every fighter should take an IQ test, so you can take that into consideration. Because he said it's not our fault if the fighters are... I'm not going to say the word he did, but the fighters are a bit, stupid. So, obviously, I don't agree with that, but I just thought it was a funny comment because, man, that IQ test was needed in this one.
Mate, definitely. Yeah. It was just... Oh, mate, yeah. Why? If he could have got a few takedowns properly, I mean, and if Sean defended and got back up, we've seen him do it before, then... But Aljo's different.
But Sean... Aljamain did attempt 2 takedowns and Sean showed great defence both times. Is he just going to be sick?
Is he just going to be like a sick striker with mad takedowns?
Yeah, I never ever thought... I woke up... I'm not going to say Sunday morning because I went to bed Sunday morning. I woke up Sunday afternoon and I just thought, Sean O'Malley's bantamweight champion. Watching...
It's like Christmas. It's like waking up for Christmas, man.
Watching Snoop Dogg go absolutely mental on the Contender Series. I remember watching that live. I was just like a kid at that point.
I remember you telling me about it. You were ringing me up, you've got to see this kid. You've got to see it. And if you look, I
was probably
like
14 at that point.
You've seen the picture of him in the gym.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to be great someday. And it's just, look how it's played out. It's 9 years ago.
And the knockout. Let's talk about the knockout. Yeah, beautiful punch. Aljamain.
IQ test.
Yeah, the way he just...
Why did he barrel it?
I remember there was a time in the first round where Aljamain was kind of moving awkwardly, like from side to side in front of him, and Sean, you could tell he really wanted to throw the right hand in. I was screaming, throw the right hand!
Yeah.
And he didn't. And I think that's because he just knew that on the feet he would get countless opportunities to land that shot, and the way it was just kind of like a pull counter, the way he just slipped the front hand and dropped the massive right hand, and some of the most brutal ground and pound I've ever seen. Like, his accuracy is so scary. Just a question. Do you think there's going to be because it kind of seemed that there was a bit of nervous energy with Aljamain, in my opinion.
Rightly so.
Yeah, but I would, if I was a fighter, I'd never look at Sean O'Malley and be scared until now. So do you think there will be this fear factor like there was with Conor McGregor, where people seem so confident until they're actually in the cage with him?
He's been knocking dudes out, right?
But
what I'm saying is, I'll answer. No, that's right. He's been knocking dudes out. We've seen it, right? but not like these top dudes. Now he's done it to someone like Aljo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
Now
yeah.
he's done it to someone like Aljo. It's kind of like, right,
Yeah.
that's going to implant some thoughts in the top, in the rank fighters' heads.
Because like watching someone knock out Eddie Wineland and Thomas Almeida, who just, let's be real, get knocked out.
Scrapping Piper.
Yeah. Knocked out Piper, TKO Chris Martino. As a top ranked fighter, you're watching that and being like, okay, he's not doing it to anyone. You know.
See, that's the thing. If top ranked fighters are looking at Chris Martino fight, they're thinking, why isn't he?
Yeah, why hasn't he dropped him?
Yeah. But now there's been a shift.
Like
this kid has now, this man has now got something around him.
Yeah, I mean Peter Yan hit Aljamain with some shots and didn't drop him.
It's we were talking about. It's that timing and precision thing. It's not. You know, we've seen dudes hit way harder than that, but that was just
pinpoint.
So precise at the right moment. Aljo just went down, mate. He was running off.
Yeah.
He hit him, mate, and like he put that. You see, the pull counter was so good that O'Malley's in the same place and Aljo's gone that way. He's nipped to the shots again, flipping kind of
broke his ankle.
Biscuits, mate. You know what I mean?
But honestly, insane performance. Aljamain, he said win or lose he's going to move to 145, but now he's lost. He's calling for an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
The UFC are just going to steer clear of that because let's be real, Aljamain fighting at his best is one of the worst possible matchups for Sean O'Malley in that weight class. And if they rematched, I honestly still think I'd pick Aljamain again.
Yeah, I mean, I said round 4 choke for this.
Yeah,
flipping Aljo.
It just seemed like Sean's night, and you know maybe I can't wait till he fights another grappler.
Yeah.
Just to see how good he is at grappling.
It's a shame when something like this happens because I love O'Malley, but I do also like Aljo.
Yeah, it's just sad for Aljo because I just thought all of the hate was so unfair. One thing that really annoyed me as well. Aljo's giving his speech afterwards saying, you know how honest he was afterwards saying, if O'Malley does this, what's Volt going to do at 145? And everyone's booing him the whole way through it. And as he's walking out the arena, you can just hear the chant, fuck you, Aljo. And as he's leaving the arena, so MMA fans are some of the most toxic people in this.
If John Jones fights, mate, they'll all be there cheering. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Let's not go on John Jones.
I know, but it's just the best comparison to give, isn't it?
No, yeah, that's what it is, because John Jones is so loved, and Aljamain's, he won the belt in a sort of dodgy kind of way, but...
He proved...
Yeah, say what you want, he's probably joint best bantamweight ever.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, and people just to hate on that, even when he's so humble in defeat. And like he's really trying to get fans on side. You can see that he came out and started striking with Sean O'Malley for the fans.
Yeah.
Like
you got to think that it's an arena full of trash people, mate. They're just gonna.
I've been booing as well.
Trash.
But I will never boo after, or I would never do that. Unless your name's Storley and you find Bellator. Grappled MVP for 5 rounds.
Another thing I wanted to talk about though, actually, this is the thing about this fight. Their pathways, both of their pathways to actually get to a belt is like Aljo's is like
an 11-fight win streak. Oh right, you mean the actual win the belt?
They've both been accomplishing on the way to the. But I'm on about just like the way they actually get
won
there.
The belt,
You know, like I mean, O'Malley's been fast tracked. Aljo got a DQ knee to the head on the floor. But I'm not taking it away from him. I just think it's kind of funny, isn't it? You know, stuff like this happening in like, you know, it's like the same thing I was talking about the light heavyweight belt.
Yeah.
The next time gets injured, mate.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. It's funny how...
There's going to be a double knockout in that Yuri Prashka.
You reckon?
Alex Pereira fight. They'll just knock each other out at the same time.
And then they'll get injured. What?
Yeah, and then it'll be like... Who'll fight for the belt? Like Jan Blachowicz or something. But, yeah, just honestly great. One of those ones that you're just so happy we were there watching it.
Yeah, I'll remember that card.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that card for a while.
And obviously we're going to touch. That's it with that card. Yeah. Amazing card. We're going to touch a little bit.
O'Malley, come on.
UFC champ. Obviously. Oh, actually, one more thing. We won't touch on it too much. He said he hasn't grappled for 6 weeks in this training camp because he had a broken rib the whole time. Sean O'Malley. So to go out there and do that with no grappling through his training camp and still imagine the mental demons he would have had to think I have not even grappled if this guy gets hold of me and everyone else telling you this guy's gonna maul you and then
he's put those demons in that right hand, man.
Just insane mental strength. that's how you know like fighters are different.
He possessed LJ,
Yeah.
mate. You know that right now.
Fighters are they're just built different.
You got to be, mate. You're getting in there to kill.
We'll go a little bit on the few fights on the main card next week. I feel like a big one that should be higher up on the card. Erin Blanchfield against Talia Santos. Obviously, both on very good runs. Erin Blanchfield in her last fight finishing Jessica
Well,
Andrade.
the fact the last two have been
Molly
finished with
McCann and
yeah.
Jessica Andrade.
and I think the one before that was JJ Aldrich, and she's
Was
on
it?
the prelims. Yeah,
Yeah.
or subs.
JJ Aldrich, yeah. Yeah, she's a beast. Erin Blanchfield is a beast.
Yeah.
I think she could go on and be champ in this weight class. Obviously, massive. Well, not a massive step up because she fought a two-time champion last time. But just Talia Santos in this weight class is an absolute beast. Obviously, she was winning the fight against Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, wrong one.
Yeah, Valentina Shevchenko until she I think it was a headbutt, broke her orbital bone, and then the fight got a lot closer, and the decision was kind of like, up in the air. But
Yeah.
I don't think Talia Santos won that fight. But obviously that only being her second loss in her MMA career, she's going to come in feeling like it wasn't a massive loss. Did very well against a champion who's obviously recently lost
Yeah.
the belt. But man,
Took her back.
yeah, these styles, they're both obviously very good grapplers. Talia Santos, she's a bit she can mix it out both ways, but a lot of decisions in the UFC.
Did Aldrich rock Molly a bit as well before the sub?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't.
I remember she was hanging in the feet
Yeah,
with Jessica
definitely.
Andrade as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I'm gonna go ahead and give my prediction for this one. I think Erin Blanchfield is just a bit too strong for a lot of these girls in this weight class. Talia Santos will show a lot of resistance, but I think I'm gonna go Blanchfield decision. That's how I
Decision?
think. Yeah, I think Talia Santos is tough enough to sort of just hang in there. I think it'll be a kind of close fight, and I think Talia is good enough on the ground not to get finished. I don't know what do you think?
I'm just gonna be controversial, mate, like last week. Lemos let me down. I'm just gonna say sub second round of Merritt Blanchfield, right?
Nice.
So
Yeah, well, to be honest, that could be it.
need a bit of controversy in your life, man.
I wouldn't say that's controversy.
No, it's not. But
I'll say sub Talia Santos. I think that would be a bit.
yeah,
more
yeah,
controversial.
yeah. No, you're right. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
won't go with that though.
Why not?
Because I just don't think that's going to happen, man. I'm actually going to go with what I think now because
Yeah, and I thought Lemos was gonna knock out Wade.
Did you actually though? I didn't.
No,
I didn't
I-
really think Pedro Munoz was going to beat Cheetah Rivera either, but
We got to start thinking,
Yeah.
man.
But I'm not going to lie. There's another fight on this main card. Maybe if they impress us enough, we'll talk about it after the fight,
Yeah,
after the card. But we want to move straight on to
I
Alex.
feel like I've never really seen those dudes.
I'm just trying.
One of those things, isn't it? Like we watch so many cards,
Yeah,
so you know what
yeah,
I
I
mean.
mean,
Some slip through the net.
Garcia's
sometimes.
had 2 fights in the UFC, and
Yeah.
this other kiddie he's 7-0, and he got a 30-second knockout in his first fight in the UFC. So maybe they're really just trying to push this. Should I ever get the name? Should I ever get pronouncing it, or should I just leave it? Go on,
Right, brilliant. Yeah. And,
give it a go.
Rinya Nakamura.
That's probably alright, to be fair.
Yeah, that is. I'm a linguist.
Oh, speak multi-language. But yeah, so we'll go on to the Giga Chikadze Alex Caceres fight. Banger fight. Alex
Yeah,
Caceres.
definitely.
Bruce
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah. Giga Chikadze's last fight came with Tar back in, when was it? It was like 2022 it was.
Yeah, so yeah.
So almost
Last year.
a couple of years ago now, yeah. It was
Last
in
year.
January, so
Yeah, I mean, he got battered.
yeah.
Still, though, what would surprise me in that fight, I remember watching it thinking, this is nuts. The guy was still moving, like dodging some punches.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, what a warrior. I forgot about that
Do
fight.
you remember the
actually.
way, he was getting battered? Of course, because Qatar went in there with a lot.
Yeah, he was just after that Holloway
Yeah,
fight,
so
wasn't it?
he had a lot to prove. And Jakadze, mate, he was moving. He was like dodging punches, but like he was rocked.
That was when Qatar first brought out. I think that was just after. That was a bit after the Jeremy Stevens knockout with that elbow, but That was when Qatar brought out those Arsenal spinning elbows, and he's been
Yeah.
using them ever since.
Yeah,
He's
mate.
just
I think
cutting people up with them.
yeah, because Shikadze's coming off of that.
Yeah.
I
Alex
mean, fights like
Caceres.
that give fighters a point to prove, really. You
Alex
know what I mean?
Caceres is on a very good run as well. Obviously, he got that head kick. It was around the same time as Leon Edwards' head kick against Julian
Nice,
Erosa.
similar.
Yeah, similar setup, not as clean.
We've seen a lot of that.
And I think, who did he fight? It was Daniel Pineda, destroyed him with body shots. He's on, Jesus, he's on, oh my God.
It's like 4.
1, 2, 3,
I think it's a 4-fight win
4,
streak.
5. Yeah, so out of his last 8 fights, he's won 7 or something. So
Yeah,
it's
and he
crazy.
fights a lot, mate.
Yeah,
He's been fighting in the UFC, right? He's been fighting every year since 2011. He's had a fight. Like that's what's that? It's 12 years. I mean, it's just great. It's brilliant to see.
So he's on a great run. Obviously, 2 big wins. So two of the biggest wins of his career. Daniel Pineda just destroyed with those body shots. Pineda showed some toughness staying in there. But this one's actually hard to call for me because Alex Caceres, I feel like it's kind of on track for him to get a kind of win here, but it just feels weird to pick him against such a good kickboxer. But then again, this is 3 round. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go Shikadze second round TKO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shikadze. He's took the right amount of time off. I think he's gonna come back sharp. He's one.
Yeah, because before that Qatar fight,
I think he's finished all of his opponents in the UFC until that Qatar fight. Finishing like Cub Swanson in the first round, and
she's a Georgian warrior anyway.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna go I'm gonna kiss Shikadze. What about you?
I'll go Shikadze as well. I reckon second round, same as you.
Yeah, agree on that one. Great. Obviously. Getting into the next fight, big rematch in the light heavyweight division. One of my favourite fighters in that weight class, just because I love his podcast with Bisping. Anthony Smith seems ready for this fight. Obviously, a bit of a demolition job in their first fight. Ryan Spann, though, he can turn up as a complete different fighter just out of nowhere. So, how do you see this one really going? Like, do you think it'll be similar to the first one?
I don't know. Anthony Smith.
Yeah, he hasn't looked great.
Slowed up a little bit, hasn't he?
He's
been led under people a little bit.
Yeah, obviously the leg kicks have just, and he just openly talks about it all the time how he just can't defend leg kicks as well, which just gives you that target straight away. Would
Spann utilise that though?
Probably not. He's a bit another one who needs the IQ test. Yeah, he actually is as well.
I don't really know about this one to be honest because it's been a while. It's a lot different from.
Yeah, I mean...
You can't always base this fight on what happened last time.
And Spann's actually... he's had some losses since then, but he's had some really impressive wins as well. But I think I'll go with the safe option, to be honest. Obviously, a bit of bias in it, but if someone beats you by that much of a landslide in your first fight, that was only like a year or 2 ago as well. It's not like we're talking about a fight that happened 5 years ago. I think you kind of have to go with Anthony Smith in this one.
And it'll be good for him as well.
He needs that win. If he doesn't, then I don't know. I love
Anthony Smith is the better fighter, though.
Yeah, But then again, in his last ones, he's slowed down. He has. Look, the Johnny Walker fight, man. He just doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't seem like he can really get in the fight. But I think the hatred between him and Ryan Spann will help.
Mate, definitely.
Yeah, you're going the same. I answered the round though, but I think Anthony Smith's second round submission.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon round
first,
3.
Maybe.
I reckon round 3.
I'm going to go round 1 submission.
Alright, fair. I'm going to go round 3. I might think it might be a late
boys.
one. They are big.
Ryan Spann is well, just make so many mistakes, man. Like,
just go round 2.
Yeah. I think it'll be 1 or 2 either way.
I don't know because I don't see Brian Spann hanging in on the ground with him.
No.
Round 2, same as last time.
And then one I don't even really want to talk about, but the main event, I'm not the happiest with this matchup. The Korean Zombie against Max Holloway.
That's going to happen, don't you?
Obviously, the Korean Zombie just fought the best fighter in this weight class, and not just, but he got destroyed by Volkanovski, and now he's found the second best fighter in this weight class. So
you do know what's going to happen, don't you?
What do you think?
So have you ever seen Max Holloway beat the head off of dudes before?
Well, like a bit like the Qatar, Ortega, those kind of one.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just Korean Zombie's old, man.
I'm going straight out there with this one. I don't want to spend loads of time talking about it. I'm going to go 4th round TKO Max Holloway.
TKO?
Yeah. I think that it'll be just like too many punches and the ref will just be like, alright,
Oh, fair
enough's
play,
enough.
yeah. Because, I mean, this Korean zombie's taking damage over his career, mate. You know what I mean?
But I don't think Holloway has like loads of power either to keep hurting him or.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, oh, yeah, that's good. I'm going to go decision.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to go decision
Yeah.
round 5, mate. You know, he's
Round 5 decision, yeah.
probably. Is it?
No, you just said decision round 5.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm numpty, aren't I, mate? But no, I think he's going to get about 720,000 punches to the head.
Yeah.
Like,
Korean zombie literally looking like a zombie
I
afterwards.
think he's got the name for a reason, son.
Not much has been happening in the news front of things.
No, not really.
I'll go on Google see if there's any articles that kind of pop out. But yeah, Conor McGregor. It's all just Conor McGregor.
always
I'm
is,
not
mate.
talking about Conor McGregor anymore. I'm done with it until he's
We said
agreed
about
to
this
come
last
back.
week,
Yeah.
didn't we?
So basically, I think that's pretty much all we've got.
I'm
to
saying
talk.
it first. There's a ban on Conor McGregor on this podcast.
Alright,
Until he fights again.
Solly as
I'm calling him out. If you
as the owner of the podcast is putting a ban on it. Me and Fogel will not talk about Conor McGregor until the fight is announced, and whenever you're here, we won't either because I'm sure everyone else is as bored as we are with it. But I hope everyone's enjoyed the podcast today. Excited to have Fogel back on next week. Maybe it'll be the three of us. Maybe it'll just be me and Fogel. We'll have a look. We want to get 3 of us in at a time. We just want to work out how the dynamic's going to work, and there's just certain things we'll work out
big
first.
things to come, though, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. We're really knuckling down. I feel like we're more on top of this than we ever have been before.
Yeah.
And yeah,
quick little thing as well. Actually, I'm annoyed.
What are you annoyed at?
Why do you think I'm annoyed, Finn?
I don't know.
Just have a little think about this card.
I have no idea. Just tell me.
It's at 10 o'clock.
Oh my god!
Mate,
why are you you're at work?
I'm at work, mate.
Oh no!
And it's so annoying. I
I
really wanted to
up, have a coffee, put the fights on.
You know, I really wanted to watch this card because I did, but I just mainly wanted to see Max Holloway fight.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Jakadze fight, but
yeah, I'm really.
you have to watch it on replay later on that day.
What a shame. At least we don't have to stay up till 7 in the morning.
Get on the pub as well. Sorted.
Night down the pub. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Combat Chatters podcast. Make sure subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. We're mostly active on there. We're not really active on many other social media accounts yet, but I hope you enjoyed the episode today. Thank you for listening.